Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is. When you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. Listen, where you choose to learn, where you choose to practice, who you choose to study with is going to define the trajectory of your practice. It is going to define, not just influence, it's going to define the trajectory of your practice or the lack thereof. And when I say the trajectory of your practice or lack thereof, this is what I mean. You got two categories of practitioners, generally speaking. On the one hand, you've got folks who are technicians, people who are maintenance people who are performers. These are folks who do. These are folks who really are optimized and reach their highest fulfillment and expression through activity, right? They do rituals, they do ceremonies, they make medicines, they make charms, they drum, they dance, they sing, right? These are action people, okay? And the nature of their action is pretty much the result of their action, I should say, is like this. The effect of it is circular, like this, right? There's a lot of activity and it generates energy, like this. There's a flow, and that flow creates energy, creates, you know what I mean? It's powerful, but it's like this. Ever so often, something happens and bleep, there's an upsurge. Something happens ever so often. We made this sacrifice, and the next day, bang, this happened. We did this ceremony. We were playing, for so and so, playing this, and then this person got possessed, and the person came down and started talking about this and talking about that, or we were doing these different things, and you could just feel the energy, right? That's the blip. But it doesn't do anything more than that. I don't want to diminish it. I don't want to dismiss it. But the effect of it is just that. It's about maintenance, and blip, ever so often you get a surge. Okay. Now, the problem is the doers are the ones who are creating like this initiation factory, so to speak. Beads, pots, titles, beads, pots, titles, beads, pots, titles. The more we make, the better. The more we make, the better. And it's just about the activity. As long as we're active, we're satisfied. And if ever so often the activity produces a blip, wow, we're not only satisfied, we're excited, right? But that represents unmanaged growth. Things are just being done without real purpose. There's no actual goal for all that activity. There's no real desired outcome for cultivating that energy. The experience in and of itself is enough, right? So if you imagine it like a city, you ever been to a city that hasn't been well planned? And people just build a house and build a factory and dump the waste here and trash is over there, and it's just chaotic. And not only that, when you get to a certain number, it starts to become unsafe. That's what we're generating right now. That's what we're generating in the tradition right now. Yes, it looks fine when you just got 5 people. You got 100 people. Okay. But as soon as you start getting around 300, 400, 500 people, this is going to create some devastating problems for your environment and for the people who live in that environment. Right now, the tradition is in the hands of the doers who just want to be active. And ever so often, blip, they just see a little surge. It doesn't even have to happen every time. We did this ceremony. We did 50 ceremonies, and just one of them we saw, wow, a window broke, and everybody's all excited, right? I don't want to diminish it. I don't want to dismiss it, but we have to put it into context relative to the alternative, which is you got this category of people who are visionaries. architects, engineers. These are the people who have ideas, not just creative ideas, innovative ideas. These are people who are coming up with systems and plans that will transform the way we do things, that will streamline the way we do things to make things more sustainable over time. And this is where you start getting to a trajectory, right? Where the energy that you generate at this level should be used to create a trajectory so you can launch at a certain angle, at a certain time, at a certain velocity to reach a certain destination, right? When you have an idea and you plan it out, for example, what that also entails is that you have a systematic plan for how you're going to implement the different technicians, the different maintenance people, the different performers. Because you realize, hey, by the time these things are done, these are going to start to fall apart. We're going to need to replace this. We're going to need to upgrade that. It's going to take you more time to plan it out and implement it. But once it's in place, now you can strategically incorporate all of the other players into that plan. But you've got to defer your gratification long enough to let the visionaries, the architects, and the engineers to design and structure the future. The future belongs to those who plan it. Right now, there's no plan. And the people who are addicted to activity and the adrenaline that comes from activity don't recognize the value of ideas, planning, and structure. But as a result, as I said, we're tanking the tradition right now. We just haven't seen the real detrimental effects. Okay? And so what can we do? What are our options? As individuals, first and foremost, the most important thing is for you to start to think about the trajectory of your life. For real. Start to think about the trajectory of your life. Where do you really see yourself at the end? How do you want to go out? What do you want to be your legacy? What do you want to be your enduring contribution to your own life, to your lineage, to your community, to the tradition overall? Seriously give some thought to the mark that you want to make on the tradition. How do you want to be remembered? What do you want to be your contribution? What do you want to be your contribution to your lineage? What do you want to be the outcome of your life? When you say, hey, this is where I started and this is where I ended, what do you want that to look like? You've got to start to get definitive about that. Start to look at people who have really made an impact. Start to really examine the lives and the life story of people who have actually made meaningful contributions to their tradition, to the culture, to the community at large. And once you start to see that, you're going to understand the importance of visionaries, architects, and engineers. It isn't simply the fact that you can do stuff. It's not enough that you can sometimes produce outcomes. You gotta, if you really want to make an impact, you're going to recognize that it is absolutely indisputable that you need planning. If you really want this to be a sustainable project and to be a sustainable success, you've got to have innovation and you got to have structure. Okay? You start to look at world-class organizations, institutions that have lasted and endured and improved over time. You're going to see all the ones that last, all the ones that continue to evolve and get better and more powerful and more effective. They all incorporate innovation. They all incorporate planning. They're all well engineered. All. There's no exception to this. Being able to do things is never going to be enough. All right? It's just never going to be enough. So that's for you as an individual. Clarify for yourself where you really want to go. Clarify for yourself what you really want to accomplish. Then undergird that with some lightweight research. Just start to look seriously at the kinds of examples that, represent what you want to do, how you want to show up, how you want to be remembered. And then once you've done those two things, and I guarantee you're going to see what I'm saying, I guarantee you're going to see innovators, architects, engineers have both hands on any kind of sustainable success. Once you accept that, then it's going to be easier for you to recognize and make the distinction. Oh, okay. This is a visionary. This is an architect. This is an engineer. Some combination thereof. This is an implementation guy. This is a maintenance guy. This is a performance guy. Let me start and get my understanding and get orientated and get a structure and a blueprint over here so that I can see over the trajectory of my life, where do I need to incorporate the maintenance person? Where do I need to incorporate the performer? Where do I need to incorporate the technician? Right? Because if you leave it into the hands of the technicians, the performers, and the maintenance people, you're all priests and priestesses. You all need to be initiated. All. You all need a house full of shrines. All of y'all. Right? Because that's all they know how to do. That's all they know how to do. If the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Right? But once you get with the architects and the engineers and the innovators, you're going to see, look, based on who you are and what you're really here to do, you're a doctor. You just need to incorporate this maintenance guy in this capacity. Hey, listen, you're a housewife. You need to only incorporate this performer in this capacity. Hey, look, you are a landscaper. You are a dentist. You are, right? This is who you really are. And this is how the tradition is going to help you to optimize your natural gifts and talents so that you can actually show up and be the highest version of yourself. It's going to take more time. It's going to take more patience. It's going to take more focus and restraint. But in the long run, I guarantee you, in the long run, you're going to be so much more gratified and fulfilled and impressed by your own contribution and the way you show up by being able to plot a trajectory and not be satisfied with just generating this energy on a circular level with an occasional blip. So as always, I'm talking to the leaders. I'm trying to enlist the leaders, the people who want to improve the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, I want you to find out how Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Get enrolled, get the books, join me on social media. Let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odavo.